Start. No. Chris, with that one too?
I started.
Thank you. Yeah. So we'll start with that one. Okay.
All right, we're going.
All right, perfect.
Right.
So,
Wait.
hey guys.
Is my bleeding?
It's not going.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
fine.
going.
Stop it.
Alright. Start with
You pushing it?
Yeah.
Well, they're already going.
There you
the
go.
camera can keep going.
No, I'm talking about the lyrics or the audio, right?
Yeah, mine's blinking.
Mine's
fine.
solid.
Wait, is this blank?
Yeah, it's fine.
Last one.
As long as you're close, it'll be fine.
Alright.
That same thing was happening. Wait,
Okay.
let me
Alright,
hear
I
it.
trust you.
That's fine.
Alright, welcome in. This is PV Pod, and today your host is Kira Morale. Today we got,
Matt from Straight Shooting with Matt.
and we also got,
Carlos Rivera.
and we also got.
Emerson.
Perfect. So as we all know, we're here together to discuss about,
The Ukraine versus Russia
you could call it crisis.
crisis, yes.
Call it crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something crazy.
It is definitely now going to be a part of our history books. You can definitely.
Oh
see
yeah,
what's
we're definitely making history being in this. 100%.
And I'm tired of being through history.
100%. Yeah.
Like, it's been like that.
This is like
It's been
2
way
years
too-
now?
yeah.
Almost 3 years, going on 3 years.
Man, that's crazy. It all started with Kobe. I'm just gonna start with it. It all started with Kobe. Just losing Kobe was just.
Didn't we lose Kobe in the pandemic? Or was that before?
That was right before. Like,
I mean,
pandemic?
it started, but it wasn't the United States type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
January 26th, I think.
I remember because we were
It was a
learning
Sunday.
about it.
It was a Sunday.
Yeah.
You just knew about it because the social media, that's all it was. I didn't see
Mm.
anything else.
Do you remember what you were doing when you
Yeah.
heard it?
Yeah,
What was it?
I was at Topgolf. Yeah, I just like everyone opens up their phone, the notifications, everything. And you just hear like, I was never really like a big fan. I didn't really watch basketball like that, but just hearing that and seeing how many people like loved seeing Kobe, like that just showed how much of an impact he brought to people.
That is true.
Mhm.
I mean, I remember I was at a restaurant. I was on a restaurant working, and then one of my coworkers, she comes out, she's like, "Dude, Kobe Bryant died." And I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." I was like, "You're joking." Like, no, I'm not. It's on the news. And I was like, "Oh, I believe you. Who's gonna lie about Kobe?"
My brother called me, and he was like, "Bro, you won't believe this, man. Kobe died, man. Kobe died." And I was like, "Yo, when the fuck were you ever a Lakers fan?"
I was like, are you for real? I was like, holy shit. I was like, I didn't know you liked him like that. But I was like, yeah, you know, it was sad. Yeah, 100%. It's just Kobe, you know, like he was a great guy. And what's it called? Apparently, like his daughter, you know, was also a huge impact in like her school and everything.
Yeah.
So you know, she was also a part of society and everything too. But it's also sad, like I never really knew who she was until after the fact. And you know, like I would like to show her appreciation for, you know, what she did in her community and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Is for being that age and everything, having a huge impact and stuff, like 100%.
I think she got her jersey retired somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it her school or anything?
It was her
did it.
school jersey. I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her school jersey or something.
See,
Yeah.
I just got out of church and we was listening to the radio and they were like, former Lakers legend Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and I was like, what? Everybody sitting in the car dead silent, just listening. Like,
It was
like
It's sad,
like,
bruh.
you think of these childhood heroes and you think these people are unkillable, these people are invincible, and then when one of them passes away, it's like, damn, you know, it kind of hits.
It's
Like,
sad.
imagine when LeBron, you know,
Mhm.
LeBron losing LeBron, or I don't know, like for soccer, I mean Messi, people like that. You like, I mean, there was one soccer player. I don't know if you guys know Maradona. He's like a legend. He was already old, but he died in Argentina. But everybody's like crying outside the stadium. Like, it's crazy how much they have like developed into us, our character.
like athletes go farther than just the sport itself. They do a lot for their communities and all that.
Yeah.
So just to say he was a basketball player or, you know, Messi's a soccer player, it's just, it doesn't do their due diligence, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
100%. So, Let's get on topic, guys. Come on.
Poke the bear.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is. I guess it's a sensitive topic, but
Who's dealing with it? Dealing
but
with
it's here and it's real. So
It's happening.
Like we said, we're making history.
That is true. That is true. So as we speak is Sunday, February 27th, 7 p.m. As of right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Russian Prime Minister, President, whatever you want to call him, should be meeting with the President of Ukraine to discuss. See what happens from there. I'm not sure. First of all, let me start with you guys. What do you think is going to happen in this meeting?
I think tensions are really high, but I think if they're willing to speak to one another, I don't know what it was before, but the fact they're even able to speak to each other sounds like a lot of green flags, a lot of green lights, you know? A lot of good things might come out of this, so.
Yeah. It's also they're talking on Monday, which is tomorrow. But yes, you actually are right. They are meeting. But in my opinion, there's just still a lot of hostility going on between them, and I don't really think that meeting's really gonna resolve anything because this issue's been going on actually since 2014. Yeah, and it's just been like a huge debate, and if they haven't settled it, you know, for all these years, what makes you think they're gonna settle it now? And then on top of that, it's not even just like about them now. Like this United States is also, you know, trying to fuck with Russia's economy and everything. You know, they're on Ukraine's side, trying to help Ukraine and everything. China and everything, I think,
China
is with Russia, 100%.
But
Yes,
they're
China's
like
also.
very soft on what they support
That's
because
true.
I think their president had called Putin a while or a few days ago saying that they need to talk negotiations with Ukraine.
Who else was it that said that too? I thought there was some.
The smaller countries that are also along with Russia, like
France.
So, like,
I know
Belarus
France is
and
with
stuff
Ukraine.
like that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, France is with Ukraine. I'm pretty sure trying to send equipment and, you know, supplies and stuff down to help Ukraine and
Everything also.
See, it's kind of hard because obviously I can understand Russia's concerns with Ukraine being a member of NATO because you have Romania, you have Lithuania, you have all these countries that already border Russia that are members of NATO. So Ukraine would be that one last piece that would effectively block them in because on the western side they have Poland, Germany, they have all these European countries, and then the western side they have Canada, they have the US. So me, I'm kind of in a gray area because I don't support their actions, but I do see their concerns.
That's very understandable. I mean, that is true. I mean, when you have just basically, I don't want to say he's by himself because he obviously has other countries that support him, but when you are by yourself against a lot of countries, you tend to fold.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's like a. Oh, go ahead.
I want to break this down. So like, it's nothing wrong to believe like what you say right there, because from doing my research, I found that there's three political parties or three political like ideologies. The first one is pro-Western. Just I'm putting these simply. Like obviously you're just middle area for all of these, but to put them like black and white basically. There's the pro-Western, pro-NATO. Those are people a part of the Ukraine who believe that. Then there's the regional and local interest that are just people from the Ukraine that, you know, they just want to leave things alone. They want to leave things the way they are. Then there's the pro-Russian people that are also living in the Ukraine that side with Russia and are against Ukraine going with the United Nations, NATO. So those are basically the three main like ideas right now.
Definitely.
I'm pretty
Sure, Russia doesn't even really want to take over like a lot of Ukraine. Isn't like a big portion of Ukraine though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Russia wants?
Well, the eastern part of Ukraine's been controlled by pro-Russian separatists for a few years
And
now.
that's,
Well, yeah,
and
it's-
those are majority of people who believe.
Isn't that part? They have more native Russians there. I'm pretty sure I heard that, right?
That's true.
In that territory, right?
Definitely. I don't want to say the
I wouldn't
bottom right
doubt
of it, but I forgot how to say the last name of the city. Not last name. The name of the city.
The capital?
No, not the capital. It starts with a KS something. KS
See, yeah, I don't remember the names also.
Chef or something like that, and that's the one that's on the right, and it's been controlled by, I don't want to say, pro-rebels, I think that's what they're called.
The separatists.
Separatists.
basically.
So, you know, it is true when it comes to that, but then again, it's like, you could say, this might sound weird, you could say, let's say, El Paso, you know, you could say it's a lot Latinos, right? And then, let's say Mexico says, I don't know, like, fuck it, let's take that place, you know, let's take that part of Arizona. This is just like giving an idea, an example, but and then you're like, United States is like, no, it's our part. But you can but Mexico can be like, well, there's a lot of Mexicans there, you know, like, there's a lot of people that go from there, we should take that part. So I think I see it a little bit like that as an example, and I'm like, well, it makes sense what they're saying, Mexico, but you can't do that.
You're kind of saying they see that as part of their country because more of their people are there. Alright.
So and I understand it. Obviously over there in Europe, they might see it different. As we see here, obviously you can't do that.
I mean, didn't United States just come over and do the same exact thing? Just put people there and said, "Oh, I'm just this is America, huh?"
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I can see it, but it's 2026.
They've established. Like, at the end of the day, they established like an area that is theirs. So like,
Exactly.
if this is the Ukraine, then that's the entirety of the Ukraine. There's no kind of maybe Ukraine, but kind of maybe Russia. I think it should just be one thing or the other. To not to like you know, that's confusion. That brings confusion to people. It's like, okay, I don't know whether. I mean, you can call it a territory or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like
It's part of
it needs to belong to somebody.
And see, to go along with that, Ukraine's already established its own economy and its own government. They're self-governing already, so Russia trying to take over Ukraine, it's basically just, I wouldn't say them taking their territory back, but basically them just invading a country because they see that as part of their country, just like they did with Crimea, I think, a few years ago.
well, the thing is, shoot, what was I going to say? Crap, just out of my head. You know what? Yeah, you guys just discuss. I'll come back to it.
Well, okay, but taking off a little bit of the topic of whether cities are part of that, can we get to a point where we see the president of Ukraine got balls? Like, that motherfucker got balls. Like, you see what he's doing?
That man.
You see the mess? I still don't remember. I remember a little bit what he said. He said, "Don't give me a ride."
He said, "Oh, bring me ammunition. I don't need a ride. I need ammunition."
And I was like, "Damn,
See,
that's an Insta quote right there."
I don't know, because you see a lot of people in the U.S. that are like, "Oh, citizens don't need guns. Citizens don't need this," and then you see those same people talking about Ukraine. "Oh, arm the citizens." So I don't know. That's just it's kind of off topic, but
More political. I see it.
it's kind of like
I know what you mean. I know what
You
you
create-
But it's a good subject just because, hypothetically, like, God forbid something like this happens to the U.S., but I would hope that, you know, we'd have our weapons on us. Because,
Right.
and I'm not saying that we should, like, keep it on us in case of something, but, like, I mean, yeah, actually, I guess I do mean that. Exactly, I do mean that. Because, you know, it's better to be safe than to be sorry.
Yeah. Right. Also, you know, Ukraine's not just gonna give up their land and territory. You know, like, Ukraine's not part of NATO, and that's been that way for years now. And you know, United States and NATO and all the other people have been trying to get Ukraine to join in everything, and for years, you know, they haven't. So my whole thing is like, why is Russia gonna, you know, go invade and try to take a territory even though they're not siding with us? We really only use Ukraine for oil, and on top of that, we're also becoming what's it called? We don't really need oil.
Definitely.
Like we're hold on, let me check. What is it? We are energy independent. Like we all have solar panels all around and everything. So this is like, why are we trying to go sit there and fight a whole, you know, different country and everything over some oil, even though we make our own? We make enough in the United States for us to survive, for us to keep going on.
I mean, the amount of barrels a day we import from Russia is like 595,000 barrels a day, and I know that pipeline they were supposed to build was supposed to bring about like 800,000 in, but I guess they didn't want the pipeline because it crossed through native territory and they kind of scrapped it. So it kind of keeps us buying oil from Ukraine. So if we wanted to get oil, that pipeline would have been the best decision, but they were afraid of hurting the environment, so now we're still dependent on these Eastern European countries.
And it's hard now, definitely. You see the gas prices, of course. I mean, and it's not even going to be political, of course. I think it was a 1.370, and it started going down to 320 at some point around half a month ago. And now I just checked, it's like $4 now on Circle K. You know, Circle K, like, you know, the place where you get it cheap.
And Circle K gas is mid too.
Well, actually, if you guys want to know, Chevron, Four Sons, and I'm pretty sure Shell, that's Ukraine oil.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Chevron.
yeah, Chevron, they're
I'll pay
charging
that $4.10 for that gas.
Yeah, I know.
For Ukraine, you know, my boys, we're donating for them.
Outside of the oil, I think that I think another reason why the U.S. is concerned and why they want to be a part of this. Do you know how close they are to Russia? You guys notice that? They're very close.
I mean,
We are very close to Russia.
Oh yeah, no, people think we're like thousands of miles.
They don't
You go to Alaska,
Alaska.
and it's like 25 kilometers away.
It's not that far. So
Same there.
honestly, I'm not surprised that we're very close to them, which means we have the potential to be very close to somebody taking over. You know, like, why see something happening and not do anything about it when we're that close, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to think about it. If we necessarily like jump in, you know, Russia will jump in. We have more soldiers than Russia.
That's true.
The issue is if China jumps in. China is way a part of our development. We do not have their kind of technology, and they have way more people than we have in the United States. Way more
Yeah,
soldiers.
but you also look at their population, and it's like 1 point something billion people in
That's
the
true.
country. And I'm pretty sure that males there have mandatory military service up until like 25 or something like that.
yeah. And then,
Big military, and I think not only that, but I don't want to be incorrect, but I do believe that with China and Russia, would North Korea also be with them?
oh yeah, 100%.
I couldn't see that happening because of how outdated their military is and how outdated their equipment is. Because obviously you see videos of their parades and they have all this
You
technology,
think it's all for show?
but I honestly think it's all for show because they don't really have any trade partners besides China, and they hardly ever trade anything. So I don't really see how they would have all this high-tech military equipment like they boast they do, but I don't see them getting involved unless they're provoked.
Well, I remember when I was in, I don't know if it was middle school or the beginning of high school, North Korea was over there bombing the oceans and everything right next to, what was it?
real?
Yeah.
What was it, Japan or something? And then,
They're obviously testing.
they're testing their limits and everything. And I also know Russia does trade nuclear stuff with North Korea. I think so. I'm pretty sure I read something like that, but I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
North Korea is too closed in to really get information on.
But it's scary.
Well, I know. I'm
It's
pretty
close.
sure.
Like, close. We don't hear anything about them. Like, that's the sad
I'm
part of
just
that.
saying that because if America's involved with Ukraine, China doesn't necessarily like the U.S., and neither does North Korea. I can see them siding with them just because of the fact that they have a common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
That's why. But, I mean, that's a good point you make. If they don't trade and they don't necessarily want to be a part of everyone else, I can see them also being like, we're going to be neutral on this and just not care. We're going to pretend like it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's also that too.
And
Especially
that's kind of what they've been doing already. I mean, you've mostly only heard China and Belarus and Kazakhstan, but you've never really heard anything about North Korea during this.
Well, they don't like everyone else's culture. Like Kim Jong-un just wants like everything to be within the country.
Strictly North
Yeah,
Korea.
like you can't watch what's it called? What was
You
that?
can't-
Squid Games.
you
You
can't
can't watch
do
Squid Games
anything
in there. Yeah, you can go to jail for watching Squid Games in there. I read that in an article. 100%. You can definitely do that.
I remember that too.
You can't watch American shows down there. You can't wear certain clothes. Can't listen to their music and everything.
They have
And if
like
you
3 channels you can choose from, and it's all state run.
Yeah, and then,
You can't get his haircut too. I heard something like that.
I heard something like that. I have. I don't know if that's true, but I have heard something like that. But you can't get what's it called, like the rapper's hair down here. You can't do that. Yeah, you will go to jail and everything for it. So it's crazy. And what's it called down there? It's like if your kid makes a mistake, it's the whole family. The mom gets God, the grandma gets God, the uncle gets God.
Say you're someone in North Korea and you say something negative about Kim Jong-un. Not only are you going to prison, your kids are going to prison, your kids' kids are going to prison, their kids are going to prison. They literally sentence your entire bloodlines until they feel fit.
F Joe Biden.
So say we were run like North Korea. Say we were run like North Korea. If you were to say F Joe Biden, damn, I just was on that
Reset.
oh, pause. There it goes. It's back on.
That'll be a good subject to talk about.
Brittany, you want to make sure the cameras are running?
Well, let's get into the stock thing first, because I want to hear about it. I want to hear your part of
I
the
have some
crypto.
pretty good things about it.
Well, let's hear
I
it.
don't know a lot about that.
The red button. Yeah, but it's going to turn off right now.
Hey, you guys want to bring us into the topic?
We should stay on this topic just a tiny bit longer and then move on to the whole
Oh,
Put in the
pause.
new.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's back
I think
on.
that'll be a good subject to talk about because all opinion based.
That is opinion based.
Well, let's get into the stock thing first, because I want to hear about it. I want to hear your part of
I
the
have
crypto.
some pretty good things about it.
Well,
That's
let's
right.
hear
I
it.
don't know a lot about that.
Are we ready to talk about it? One of you guys want to bring us into the topic?
Well, start second phase of the podcast. We're gonna be talking about how the crisis.
I don't necessarily want to call it a war because
Right.
war is a very strong
A
word.
conflict of
Conflict.
But if you're gonna say declare war, it's pretty scary just to hear that, you know.
yeah.
Well,
Because he said he
yeah,
had an
we,
invasion, but he
Yeah.
didn't really have war.
well, yeah. I mean,
They did. There are, like houses and stuff. Tanks running over
Yeah.
cars, driving in the streets and everything. I have seen pictures and I have seen videos of Ukraine citizens talking to Russian soldiers, like cussing them out and everything, and Russian soldiers just looking at them like, fuck off. Like, why you looking at me for?
They're just
keep
sitting there
walking
like,
past.
bro, I didn't choose to do this.
That's true.
mhm.
Because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've seen a couple videos where Ukrainian soldiers have taken Russian soldiers hostages, and they're like, who sent you here? Why are you here? And a lot of them are like, we were just told this is training exercises. We were told everything would be fine, and then we were abandoned. So it's kind of hard to believe media
Everyone's on that
because
side, yeah.
because there's so much within the heat of the moment. There's so much misinformation being spread that it's kind of hard to really know what's true and what's not.
And that's why I believe that, I don't want to say understand the other side, but I'm pretty sure, not everyone thinks like the leader of Russia, not to say feeling, but, you think about it, you're like, what's the soldier's fault, They do your job. It's not what,
I think looking at it from both sides, whether it's Ukraine or Russia, they're fighting before something. They're fighting for their own country, not because, and they don't see it as something wrong because that's their country.
Right.
Same thing with the United States and anything else, anybody else. They're gonna do it because that's their country.
If you have a burglar come in your house, like, I'm defending my house. That's my house. Like, you're not gonna sit here and rob
And if
me.
we end up in a gunfight,
like
I'm
that
dying or
happens.
you're dying or we're both dying.
100%. I know Ukrainians. They're not gonna give up their territory like that. Like,
they really say
They haven't for this long.
Mhm.
Because if they really weren't about that action, then pro-Russian rebels would have already had Ukraine.
That's true.
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about Ukrainian men? They're not allowed to leave the country.
18 through 60, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was if you're eligible for war, if your age is eligible for war, you can't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't personally agree. I think that's a long time you have to stay in there.
See, that's
I
a
don't-
very dangerous thing because I'm not trying to say that Ukraine is Nazi Germany, but Nazi Germany, when they started to lose the war, they started to bring men from like, or even kids like 14, 13 years old, they would bring them into the military because all their able-bodied older men, like 21 through their 30s, they were all already dead. So it's dangerous because what happens when all these young men die? Then it's just going to be old men and then women and kids, and the economy is going to be thrown out of whack. Everything's going to be all jumbled around.
Sure, like,
Right.
even the economy.
And you see, and I don't really know how to explain it.
I think Russia is really just trying to scare Ukraine right now with this invasion because they haven't declared war. Like, if you really think about it, Russia can really take over Ukraine anytime they want. The only issue with that is, like, other countries would join in. But Russia is really huge, and if they're already invading Ukraine, I mean, like I said, Russia's huge.
Well,
they
not
can
only-
just invade Ukraine and, you know, take, like, just control all different types of, like, all different areas of Ukraine if they really wanted to.
Well, not only that, but I really don't think, especially now, I don't think Russia can finance a campaign, like a full-fledged war, because we already removed them from SWIFT. All their bank accounts through SWIFT got frozen. Their economy crashed. And in response to that, Putin raised his nuclear defense up to, I think, level 2. So, like, U.S. has...
Right?
So, like, the U.S. has DEFCON 1 through 5. They have... Theirs are labeled through names, but they're on, like, basically level 2 right now, which is, like, on alert. So, it's...
But what do you think if China joins in? Because
China's already said they're not going to do
China said they
anything.
weren't going to do it.
they weren't going to?
Putin and
No,
Xi
no.
Jinping had a phone call, and China said, you need to negotiate this through talks. So they're not trying to get dragged into this either.
This is where I come
Same
in
with
and say, like,
Kazakhstan.
Putin is losing, and no matter what he does, he's gonna lose. Like, even if you earn the territory, all the things that you're losing right now, from like the UN nations telling you can't do all this, and
It's
you know
not
the
gonna be worth
G7s,
it.
you're losing a lot. You know, you're not. It's not worth it. All the banks that you're getting shut down.
And the amount of countries that are involved in the United Nations, there's a lot. There are a lot.
You know, and
So they're going up against a very big wall, I'd say.
so you're not winning. Like, even if you take the territory, like, you're not getting anything from,
Like,
you know.
the cost of that's going to outweigh
It's
what
higher.
you gain.
And
Like, yeah, we got more land, but our economy's trashed because we had to pump a bunch of money into our campaign. Like, their economy's crashed so much from this war, dude, that obviously y'all know what Robux is, right? Literally, one Robux is worth more than their fucking than their currency in U.S. dollars. And I'm just like,
Oh,
like Putin thinks like, yeah, we're gonna get this done. He doesn't realize that my virtual currency is more than his dollar is.
he's desperate right now too. I mean,
no.
like.
No, we can.
Bro, it's true though.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's
That's probably right.
You saw. I think he made a video of an hour, and he was just talking about how like it happened with Ukraine, the passage of Ukraine, and how it was part of Soviet. And I was just like, what the heck is this, man? Like, the man's going through a midlife crisis right now.
Well, yeah, because he used to be an ex-KGB or an ex-KGB agent, which was like the Soviet Union's kind of, I wouldn't say like Delta Force, but kind of like their special forces, and they definitely weren't people to be messed with. They were
That was
like
badass.
the elite of the elite. They're like, fuck, I don't know. They're like basically,
Like the.
they're put through so much stuff that everything they do, like killing people or killing kids and women, they don't care. They just do it because that's what they're trained to do. And that's what Putin is. He's an ex-KGB agent. So
Do you think?
it's kind of like...
Do you think?
Putin's just doing it just to look big because, like, how he was saying, like, Russia, I mean, the Soviet Union, like, they were huge back then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
They were
no one wanted to mess with them back then. And,
Because
you know,
back then it was just the U.S. and Soviet Union. China wasn't in the picture at all. You didn't have any of these other, you know, rivaling economies beside the U.S. and the Soviet Union. And going back, fuck, I lost my train of thought. That always
This all
happens.
reminds me of, and like, have you guys ever seen the movie Red Dawn?
Yes.
I'm relating this to the movie not because it's not exactly the same, but basically the idea of the movie is that Russia and China are working together I forgot what the cause of it was. I probably could just Cold War.
I think it was
It was
just tensions, and they were just like.
It had to do with the tensions of the Cold War, and they came to America on American soil, and obviously we had to fight for our land back from China and Russia. And I'm not saying this is the same thing, because it's not, but that's, as soon as I heard this, that's what it reminded me of. I just hope it does never get to that. That's what I want to put out there. I don't want
It'd
it
be
to get
pretty
to that.
hard.
It would, yeah.
It would be pretty hard.
Well, let's hope not.
Well, what do you guys think if like another world war happens?
That's crazy.
It wouldn't be well for anybody at all.
I mean, like nuclear weapons, bro. Just learn one in Washington D.C., learn one in Moscow. Like both of them are gone.
I think the throwing the World War III around, that phrase, it just, everyone knows, are smart enough to know that doing that is not a good idea. I think Russia, Ukraine, China, U.S., every country knows that that's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but then again, you look at Russia right now. They don't have anything to lose. Like, their economy's trashed. Half of their population's turning on the government. I don't know if you guys saw the video when he announced that he's upping the nuclear threat. His generals kind of looked at him like, yo, this dude can't be serious. Like, he really has nothing to lose. So, I feel like that's also a main reason as to why he's starting to up the aggression, is because he's realizing like,
he won't.
Everyone has us by the neck. So,
I mean, he also calls, mainly all the shots.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, you can't really oppose him, or you're gonna go to the gulag, and there's no questioning it.
Like down here is different. Like everything down here is political. Like like this person has to agree, this person has to agree, this person has to agree, this person has to agree. Like down there is just like what he wants to do.
In Russia, it's this is what we believe in, and you don't have a choice.
Like, so what do they consider? They're considered communists then?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
They don't consider themselves communists, but the way that they run their
presidency,
the way that they run their country, they still have some of those communist ideologies kind of weaved into it. Because like in Moscow, they're protesting the war. They've arrested like 1,000, almost 2,000 people the first day of the protest, and going back to this is what we say and this is what goes. If you get arrested for political crimes in Russia, that's probably worse than killing somebody.
Oh man.
They'll give you harsh labor. They'll give you years in prison. They don't play when it comes to political crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like that since the Soviet Union. You speak out against the state, they kind of see that as you being a traitor, kind of seeing that as espionage.
Yeah.
So they just send you away.
Mm-hmm. And it's scary to live in that if you really think about it. And I'm pretty sure they have a monopoly, don't they? Is that what it?
Monopolies?
Yeah, they don't have the same limitations that we do here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's how their country goes.
One company for gas, one company for food.
So I'm assuming their economy is a little bit different when it comes to the class.
More traditional.
The class gap is insane.
There's probably maybe small middle class.
There's probably like less than 1% of people there that are middle class, because you're either super super rich, living out in the mountains with thousands of acres, or you're living in downtown Moscow in one of the old Soviet apartment buildings. Because I don't know if you guys have seen pictures from Russia, but the buildings are all but the pictures, they're all like gray and kind of unsettling.
Yeah,
that's sad.
And seeing that stuff kind of makes me thankful I lived here, because I don't think I could imagine living in a place. I'm not trying to talk trash, but living in a place that seems so dull.
Soviet Union place.
Like,
Anyways,
we were supposed to be talking about the stock market. I don't know how this conversation went.
It's dragged out. I mean,
I don't know much about this, so I'm gonna have to listen to you guys. You guys are gonna teach me a little bit right now.
Right.
Well, I know the stock market right now is really fluctuating because oil.
Yeah.
That's the main thing right now. A bunch of volume is going towards oil, which all the other stocks are just down, while oil is just shooting up slowly, steadily, just keep going up. And then that's what's making the stock market usually fluctuate weird. And then a lot of people are leaving crypto and everything, you know, and like oil and stuff because it just keeps going up and up and up.
I did hear they lost like roughly $1 billion or $1 billion the currency in crypto because people were pulling out of it.
True.
That's
That's
a lot. Within the first day of like this
The invasion.
Yeah, within the invasion, people pulled out that quickly, and it was like, that's insane. And this is what I know because I really don't know a lot, but seeing that.
Just go ahead, guys. Keep going.
Can I get a quick picture in here?
Yeah, just get a quick picture. My mom's complaining. Sorry.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is,
I'll get you in the next one. I'm sorry.
You know what? We're gonna move on. I don't know this.
No, I'm here.
No.
Everyone's hearing right now.
No, it's okay. That's
No,
okay.
I like the. I see what you mean with the crypto, but not a lot of people understand why crypto is very, very important if a war was to happen, or even the crisis was to move on into something more delicate. The first day it happened, I don't want to say how much I lost, but I lost around 30% of my portfolio like this. The first hour. The first hour.
I remember. Yep.
The first hour, my portfolio went down. I think my mom lost like 10K right then and there.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. So it was bad. But the next day, everything just went up.
And this is supposed to be the way of the future, and that's what I was trying to say.
So
If we lose this idea of crypto being like the way of the future, could fall on itself.
Sure.
Yeah, because let's say something were to happen and all of technology all of a sudden becomes obsolete. You can't turn your phone on. Basically, all electricity is gone. How are you going to access your crypto?
Look how you get hardware.
I mean, they
do come cards now. They do like with wallets.
But then, see, that's the thing though. Like,
I'm not big on crypto.
When my mom recovered that money the next day, why? Because Russian banks closed, shut down. Ukraine shut down their banks for their people. So what do you have? Your Bitcoin wallet. That's it. Which you can take out the money. And guess what? That day, Bitcoin went up 10%. Right now it's like, but it's because people are realizing, you know what? Because the banks can shut you down whenever they want. If my bank was to say, hey, we're shutting you down. It's not gonna be like the 1920s, the 1930s regression when they put all the money of our savings into, the stock, and the stock went down. No. The thing is, banks can't do that, but the banks can literally close it and say, hey, you can't take out your money right now.
Mm-hmm.
In crypto, you can't do that because,
it's unregulated.
It's unregulated.
It's not controlled by one centralized bank.
Exactly. You can take it out in whichever coin you want at the end of the day. You're moving to Mexico, you can take it out in pesos. You're moving to Peru, you can take it out in soles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that people are not understanding that much. And obviously, some people are going to take out their money, of course. If you already won the profit, might as well take it out, if a war was to happen. But if you're in the middle, just don't take it. Because
can't everyone around the world use crypto?
If you have the technology.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I can't go buy stocks in Ukraine.
Exactly.
Right?
It's international. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's something I would be scary of. Like, if it was to happen, my stocks I would probably take out,
War?
Well, not even
Man,
war,
see-
crisis.
Oh, I was
Just-
gonna say,
just in
because
general.
if war breaks out, dude, I'm throwing a bunch of money into all the defense contract stocks, like Raytheon, Northrop Grumman.
War
You got
stocks.
Boeing. I'm throwing all my money
War
because
stocks.
you see all these during times of war. You see all these defense contractors. Their stocks inflate because of how much
Right.
they're
Supply and demand, stuff like that.
how much war material they're supplying. Boeing does planes. Raytheon, I don't know what the hell they do. I just know they're a defense company. That's what I'm saying. If war ever breaks out, Raytheon and all that shit.
Let me ask you guys a question. This is off topic, but do you think Biden fucked up the stock market? Be honest. What do you
You
believe?
see how fucking badly
know
it
about
crashed when you
Hell
went
yeah,
into
bro.
office?
I
Every-
lost 60% of my fucking
Dude,
profit.
the entire
Since Trump was out, since Trump left office, I damn near lost like 60% of my profit. And I'm on E-Trade and Robinhood.
Bro.
The entire, I'm pretty sure it was like a week after, the entire stock market was red. everything was down. Like,
Yes, everything went.
15%.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Like,
Yeah,
completely plummeted.
yeah, everything.
Everything went bare, 100%. The whole stock market just went bare.
I don't know, but the crypto went bull. Like that shit went bull. Like around my birthday, July, when everything recovered, everything went bull on the crypto market. Like all time high shit, like double.
See, I'm just not too well known.
Do you think the crypto market is related to stock market when it comes to, you know?
They're their own
No.
separate entities because
think
crypto is obviously its own currency,
Right.
which stocks you're obviously buying with your currency and then you sell it at a higher price. They're kind of the same, but they're not.
I think crypto. I
actually do think I think crypto messes with the stock market. I don't think stock market messes with crypto because if crypto goes down, the whole stock market goes to shit. But if crypto goes up, the stock market can still be down.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the stock market go like turn to shit and crypto go up, and that's when I started investing all my money into crypto and stuff.
Right.
When Doge, remember when Doge whatever like
70 cents.
Yes,
$1.70.
it's just like quadrupled or whatever. I don't even know. That shit just like went straight the fuck up. And I was making stupid money off that stuff. I was like, fuck stock markets, bro. I was like, yeah, I'm just straight crypto.
With me, when GameStop got super inflated that one day, I bought it at like $10 a share. And I bought.
Why was GameStop going up?
So a bunch of like the big investing firms were betting on GameStop's stock to crash. So a bunch of people were like, hey, let's start buying a bunch of shares and inflate the price of it, which I think it actually started to bankrupt a bunch of the investing firms. A lot of them had to shut their offices down.
Well,
I will say what I heard.
I remember hearing about
It's
that.
it's complicated, but
What I heard was that Riddick told everyone to go buy AMC and GameStop
yeah,
stocks.
it was on Reddit. It was on Wall Street.
Right, yeah.
This was
that's what
during
it was.
COVID, right?
Yes.
Because
And then-
It was like
AMC
last
was
year or
going
2
down
years
because no
ago.
one was going to the theaters.
Well, yeah, and then GameStop was about to go out and everything, and those big, huge, rich people, like he said, Reddit said, buy it.
Yeah, because what these
And
Investing firms will do is they'll sit and watch the stock market specifically for these specific stocks to crash so that they can pour money into it and then sell their stocks that they do have. So Reddit basically was like, nah, fuck you guys. The little guys are going to do it to you guys and see how you feel, which ultimately led to like billions worth.
So it was a
Well, this was-
so the rich people were making a call.
well, here,
No,
this
they just sit and watch the stock market.
Well-
They're like, hey.
No, like
Well-
make a call, like.
Well, no,
Oh
it's-
yeah, they'll call
basically.
their investors, hey, watch this stock when it drops.
No,
pump
like
it up.
Well, so look, this
Is
is
that what you're talking about? You're confusing me.
like make a call if it's gonna go up or if it's gonna go down. You know how like on Robinhood you can like make a call or something like that. I don't know what it's called.
I don't use Robinhood.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like when you
I don't know what
I don't know how to
that is.
explain it, but it's like when you make a call, I think it's like where you can say, let's say Pfizer is like at $15, you make a call by next week it's gonna be like 13 or like 12.
I think that's a bet.
Yeah, it's a better,
Yeah.
better call or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a bet.
I used to do.
But this is what I back to like what he said. I know what it is. I mean, I don't know what it is. But I think what it was everyone started to buy. I mean, Reddit said buy all these stocks and everything. Oh, crap, he died. Yeah, Reddit said buy all these stocks and everything. Everyone started to buy GameStop. The volume of GameStop shot up, which made the money of it go up. Only issue was the value of actual GameStop. No one was using it. No one was like actually like going to GameStop and like trading it in. So the volume's all the way up here. And when something's down here and it has to average out, what do you think like is gonna happen? It's just gonna fucking crash. Yeah, it's just like, and that's exactly what it did. The volume went all the way up, so the price of everything went up. And unless everyone's buying it, it's not gonna stay up. And that's exactly what it did. So all these people up here are buying, selling stocks, buying, selling stocks and everything. And what's it called? When everyone sees that and everything, they think, oh yeah, like I'm gonna buy stocks.
Like nah.
And
See, I messed
not yet.
up,
That same
man.
exact night, it crashed, and that's what people didn't realize, that it wasn't gonna last for that long because no one's buying GameStop. So like that was the whole thing about it. That's what I heard in it.
See, I messed
Stuff because I was waiting for GameStop to like hyperinflate, And then Robinhood ended up locking the stock, and I couldn't sell it. So now I have worthless GameStop stock.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Well, I was trying to be the one that actually tried to buy the GameStop when it was all the way high and everything, and I bought it high, and I was dumb, didn't sell it in time. That shit just crashed and everything. Yeah.
I didn't buy it. I bought like $30, which was at the time I bought it at like $10. It was like 3
My mom
stocks.
still holds because she thinks it's gonna go up. I'm like, oh, of course. One day they'll have.
I mean, at its highest, I would have got like probably $1,200, $1,300 out of it, but obviously $30 to $1,200 is still a big jump. So I wouldn't complain. But now if I sold it, I'd get like $8 back.
Well, no. After that, I got screwed over. I was like, "Fuck you, GameStop. I ain't gonna fuck with you. I ain't going to your store."
I'm just letting that stock sit there. I don't even look at the GameStop stock anymore.
I can't do it.
I mean, I like.
I have like $100. That's it. Like that's because of cash out with my rewards and shit.
Well, I'm not
Invite
buying
a
stock.
friend. Get $100.
Well, I'm not buying stocks right now. I'm just buying straight crypto. Since it's so low, I know crypto's gonna jump up.
Anything with stocks or crypto.
Pre-IPOs.
Just working.
That's all I'm doing. Pre-IPOs. Waiting until this IPO and then taking the money out.
Crypto for
Dang.
these two.
That was a good. We ran out of that one too. I guess for the topic. So let's run down to the last part of the topic, which is.
No, there's 2 more. It's
Okay.
Putin, Hitler, and then the.
You brought up a very good point earlier when you said that, well, you were comparing Ukraine to Nazi Germany, but in this case, we're comparing Russia, or more specifically, Vladimir Putin to Hitler.
Hey,
And
why don't you guys scoot in, son?
so, what do you guys think
Oh, got it, yeah.
about that?
The setup changed.
We had a little setup change there. Cameras are dying, so we gotta figure things out. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
Why don't you? Can you ask again? My mistake.
I think he was talking.
So is Vladimir Putin the next Hitler?
I'd say he has the potential to be. I wouldn't say he's quite there yet, but a lot of the shit that he's doing now, he's getting pretty close to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I think the people of Ukraine see it, and I'm going based on just things that I've seen on the internet because I tried to do research on just this question specifically because I found it very interesting. And what I saw was it's not people verbally saying it, but social media is like what they do. They use memes. And memes are what's describing them to believe that.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but the official Ukrainian, their government's Twitter page posted a meme of like Hitler having his hand on Putin's face.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was funny.
That's
Dude, imagine
fake
shit
news.
posting while you're in the middle of getting invaded.
Imagine Imagine World War II. Like that. Like I forgot the name of the mission. It was like the worst mission, like the most homicide.
The Pacific Campaign, probably.
I think it was the
What if?
road. No, I don't know. It was the other one. But the thing is, like, imagine they posted memes around that time, bro. Like, hey, we're on the boat.
Oh, you're talking about D-Day.
D-Day.
Oh,
Imagine like
yeah,
we're on the
yeah,
boat,
yeah.
about to get to D-Day. Let you know if I survive.
Hit the beaches of Normandy.
Let's see how the doctors treat us.
What if you, like, just imagine if you're in a Ukraine soldier and you're just sitting there, just waiting for Russians to come, and you get a call saying, you're the last soldier. Fight for us. Fight for your country.
Imagine you just sitting there cleaning your gun, you just get fucking hit by a missile.
Oh my god, bro.
3,000-pound missile just fucking.
Bro, what if you just see a missile just like blow up in front of you and you just like what's it called, you just get blown back and just hit the ground and like you just look up like goddamn, like I really just could have fucking died. Like holy shit.
Depends how close you are.
Well, I mean, like you could 100%, but like.
You're more likely gonna die from the burns than anything.
What
Yeah,
if
die from the blood force.
let me like, what if you didn't die, okay, or get radiation or like shit? Like, what if you just like you're far enough it just blows you back and
You'd be in
everything?
a lot of pain.
100%. Like I'm saying, like what would go through your head? Like if that happens to you.
What the fuck just happened? I'd be like, what the hell just happened?
I would
I
just
think
got
you'd be
out.
unconscious because with an impact like that, it'll probably knock you out.
You know what? You know,
Just
okay,
walking
wait,
down
stop.
the street and I blink and I wake up in the
What
hospital.
ifs?
For real,
I know. I'm just saying, like, what's gonna go through your head? Like, what's
You're
what
gonna
goes
be in
through
a
your head?
coma. You're more than likely gonna be in a coma if you're
No,
smart.
what if? I'm saying, like,
Okay, so
if you, bro.
is the missile far enough?
Bro, Call of Duty, bro.
No,
Like Call
I'm
of
saying
Duty.
is the missile far enough that I can see it impact and blow up and then I get knocked back?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's different.
That's what I've been asking.
Okay, I thought you meant like it lands like 5 feet in front of me and I don't die. I was Alright, then okay, then you probably wouldn't get knocked out, but you'd probably be like, God damn, kind of like.
You'd
that
probably be
could've
more
been
in
me.
shock that you
Yeah.
just witnessed a bunch of people get murdered.
I don't think I'd be
I
able
would,
to
I would
think.
fuck that. I'll become a whatever side I'm on. I'll become an event. I'm doing a team. Fuck that. No, like,
If I survived that, I'm gonna
yeah, I'm like,
survive.
if I'm a Russian soldier
Hey.
and I just see, and like, I just stepped on a one of my one of my what's it called? Comrades stepped on a mine, just blowing us up and everything, and I'm still alive and everything. I'm fuck this. No, I'm part of Ukraine. I'll become Ukrainian. Like, I'm not fucking in this war. No, I'll take my shit off. I'll go get some clothes or some shit. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
If you think about it, bro, like, how do you distinguish like the enemies? Like, I don't get it. A war?
They have certain, I wouldn't say minor details, but they have certain details that they'll add. Like, I don't know if you've seen Russia's uniforms, but they're like super dark green camo.
Is it illegal if you change like?
Yes,
shit?
that's a war crime.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Adding
I mean, like, there's bombs over there.
What's the war?
I think that war crime should be set in place because if you don't, then things get very, very ugly.
The
Uglier
people are
than-
out there like killing children.
Russians are all like, you guys seen the video of Russian tank ran
Oh,
over,
right,
an
right.
old lady and everything.
That was a dude.
Thank God.
He survived.
But that was a dude. Well, I mean, yeah, like, so thank God, like, they're alive, 100%. Thank God. But like, what the fuck?
That's like a 70-ton piece of metal, fucking just rolling over.
I know, it's like they're on the other side of the road and everything, and on top of that, like the tank let other cars go away.
You driving through Ukraine and you see this fucking T-92 tank hit a sick ass drift and drive over you. Like, what do you think? You just sit there like,
This is
how am I
happening
gonna explain
right
this
now.
to my insurance?
100%.
Yeah, my car got ran over with a tank. You can't explain that.
Fine, they still have insurance over there.
Hey, they got video proof though, so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm
It'd be
like,
so hard to make. Like, I'd be like, you can't make this shit up.
I'll start to go fund me, bro. I'm that
Boss,
fucking famous in the United States and everything. Like, the video's gone, like, came all the way over here. But I'm not famous. Fuck it. Make it go fund me. Like, you
Hey,
get money
boss,
from
I
all
can't come in
over.
today. My car got ran over by a tank, and I'm still sitting in it. Like,
That's just some crazy
like,
shit.
imagine imagine one of your employees calls you. He's like, "Yeah, I'm sitting in my car, and I just got ran over by a tank." Like, what the fuck do you say to that?
I wonder how she even, like, how long was she in there? She was in there for a minute, I heard. And then, like, did they pry her out or something?
Yeah.
In the morning.
I don't know how you pry that shit out.
That sounds like. All right, so going into the last thing, how do you feel the United States is handling it? Really short. So agree, no agree. You know, not get into a lot of detail. Just give your point of
See
view.
me, I'm this.
I wouldn't have done enough research personally.
Something you have done.
See me, I hate this administration that we're living in. I've hated this administration. So I don't think anything they've done thus far has been good. But I feel like in terms of
with the NATO
being involved without being directly involved, I think there's something good going on there.
Agree.
Because we're helping them, but the U.S. itself
It's not.
isn't directly there.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure the United States sent troops and supplies and
To
ammunition
Poland. It was to Poland and Germany.
Well, I thought it was Eastern Europe. They're in. They sent it to Eastern
Yeah,
Europe.
that's Eastern Europe.
It is. Okay, I don't really know. Yeah,
like
I
the
don't know,
Baltic
but
states and shit like that.
well, yeah, that's what I heard. So, like, what do you guys feel about that?
Like, I feel like it's good as long as because they're NATO countries. I think it's
Yeah,
right?
because I don't know if you guys heard, but I think two or 3 days ago, Russia started amassing. They started amassing troops on Poland's border, so that's a good thing because obviously it's showing that if we need to, we're gonna be there for our allies, and
Sure.
if you fuck with us, then you're fucking with them also. And if you fuck with them, you're fucking with us also.
Polish people can fuck some people up. I know that for sure.
Yeah, man.
Polish people, them niggas are tough. Like, they like to fight. They can fight too.
Me and Carlos went to a Polish festival yesterday, and those are some tall people.
They were aggressive too. Yeah, they're just bumping into me and saying, "Watch out!" I'm like, "Damn!" Like, shit. I'm sorry.
We allies. We allies.
I was walking to them. I'll be like, "Excuse me." They'll be like, "Damn right, excuse you." I'm like, "Fucking hey, okay."
My senior year math teacher, she's some like this was last year, she's like 5'1", straight from Poland, thick ass Poland accent. Bro, that's one of the meanest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
That's a sergeant right there.
Like, you would walk up to her thinking she's nice, but nah.
And they're my height too.
They got like a god complex or something, being short.
The Polish females are short. But for some reason, the guys are like fucking behemoths.
Yeah, like them people are like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". They're tall.
And Carlos is tall, and I saw them. They were all about his height.
They're around my height. Yeah.
They're either built like LeBron James.
I know.
They're just super skinny.
They be. I've been looking at pictures. Well, guys.
Yeah.
This was a great podcast. I mean, we even ran out of time. It was crazy. We had so much to talk about, but we ended up collaborating with a lot of ideas, and it was great to have you guys over here. Last time, you guys can present yourselves to the camera and call it a day.
Lion Carlos, LION.CAARLOS on Instagram. You know, follow that.
I also have a podcast, Straight Shooting with Matt. Check it out.
I don't got nothing, so.
Alright.
Thank you guys.
I got Facebook.
I got MySpace.
55 minutes?
That was nice, guys. I like
It was
that.
like 30 minutes to set up, but it was pretty dope.
Yo, I'm gonna start a podcast now. That's a wrap.